In the last devlog, I showed how the colonists can put objects in their inventory with the inventory system. The colonists have two inventories. They can hold a few things in their hands and more in their backpack. Each inventory has a set of limits depending on the size, weight and quantity of items. Today, I will show how the inventory system of my game Too Far Too Late lets you craft all the items needed to build a base and survive on the moon. I define my game as a colony simulator, where you have to survive in a hostile environment on the moon or on other planets yet to be implemented. To build your base, you need to mine some resources from the planet's surface by destroying rocks or building a deep mining machine to collect ores underground. The ores can be smelted into ingots of iron, copper, gold and silicon to craft parts for construction. Each structure, wall, floor and other objects require specific parts to be built. Once you've built your outpost, you need to take care of the survival part, get the air breathable and grow plants to get more oxygen and food. Later, I will also implement research, commerce and exploration to expand the base and the economy to other planets. In my last devlog, I talked about inventory management and how you can use items for building constructions. Now I'm working on the mining gameplay, which is the first step to getting the crafting mechanic down. When the player starts on the moon, there are a few items that can be used to build and expand the base. Soon, the player needs to collect resources and explore around to find rocks that can be broken into ores. The player can move to a rock and start to destroy it or order another colonist to do that while exploring around the base. The player has a couple of items in the lander that can be used to build a basic outpost, produce energy and smelt the collected ores. The first goal is to set up some solar panels, a battery and an arc furnace, which is the most basic furnace used to smelt the ores and produce ingots. Later, there will be more advanced type of furnaces to use fuel or hot gases to smelt the ores without using electricity. The arc furnace is the real machine used in the industry, so I took inspiration from existing technologies to create a model that could be used in the game. Technically, it works by placing metal into an insulated chamber where an electric arc is created between two electrodes. As the temperature of the metal increases, it begins to melt and it can be transferred into a mold. Once the player could create some ingots, he will be able to craft more items and build a deep mining machine that will collect ores from the underground. This mining machine has to be connected to the power network of the base and it will work automatically while the colonists can work on other priorities. To show that the deep miner is working, it produces some dust and throws some small rocks around. When the inventory is full of ores, the machine stops and an action is required to continue mining. These are the two solutions implemented for mining in the game, and later I will continue thinking about other solutions for the player, like trading with Earth to receive all the resources needed. By having multiple solutions to every single problem, the player can adapt their strategy to what is available on the planet where they start. With the initial mining gameplay implemented, I could implement a way to transform ingot into more advanced items. The crafting system is set in a way that some machines are flexible and some others are specialized for some specific crafts. I already talked about the arc furnace, which is the first option to smelt ores into ingots when starting the game, and this is the first crafting machine that the player will have. Another one is the crafting bench, which is also a basic building on which a colonist can craft almost any item. Later, I will implement some specialized machine for crafting fewer items, but more efficiently. For example, a 3D printer that will work automatically to craft the assembly components, and also a metal press that will form beams or plates from the metal ingots. All the player has to do is to decide on which item must be crafted, and the colonist will automatically bring the required ingots and material from a nearby inventory and place them into the crafting bench to start working. Each crafting machine is set up with two inventories, an input inventory which will receive the ingots or material from the colonists, and an output inventory which will store the crafted item. Also, when the output inventory is full, a colonist will move its contents to another storage, so the machine can continue working and producing more items. Implementing the crafting system was challenging, and I had to adapt some of the colonists' tasks to make it work properly. I created some generic tasks to find, take and transport objects from one inventory to another, so I could reuse this generic task in more complex actions like finding all the items needed for a crafting recipe, loading and unloading a machine, and so on. I still have to do a lot of testing and optimization to finish the crafting system. For now, the crafting machine only uses items as input and output of a recipe, but soon it will also use liquids and gases. The arc furnace will produce some toxic gases from some ores, but other ores, like quartz, will contain oxygen that could be cooled down and stored to be used by the colony. With these changes, I will have all the needed mechanics to implement the farming gameplay. The colonists will have some seeds to start a greenhouse and a hydroponic system that requires water for the crops. Also, the plants will produce vegetables to feed the colony and oxygen will be released into the atmosphere of the base. The hydroponic system will be based on the same crafting system and will have a recipe to grow different crops available to the player. This is the last devlog for this year, and I would like to thank all of you who has been following the project or providing me with ideas and suggestions. In the upcoming weeks, I plan to have a little break and enjoy the good weather of South America. While indie game development is a lot of work, it's nice to know that other people are interested in what I'm doing and are looking forward for the game. When I return to the project, I will be focusing on getting the core mechanics done and the main gameplay loop implemented. Also, I'm going to start working on a demo, so anyone who's interested will be able to give valuable feedback on the gameplay and help me to make it enjoyable for all the players. Peace, love, happiness for this end of year, and see you next time!